Welcome to the BluStar Application Server, or BAS, Deployment and Installation Tutorial, Module 2. On the front of the BAS, you will see a flashing green light indicating power has been connected to the BAS. Push the power button to power up the BAS. The BAS will arrive with the operating system, Linux, pre-installed, and the BAS installation software is preloaded, meaning the BAS installation software has been copied to the hard drive. We'll run and install the BAS installation software a little later in the lesson. Using the monitor directly connected to the VGA port on the back of the server is referred to as console mode. That's what we'll be using in this lesson. After we use the console to perform the basic configuration, we'll move on to the web user interface, where we'll add our license and create 3 user accounts. After about a minute, the BAS will boot up and display the login prompt. The default login is root, and the password is BluStar, all lowercase. We're now logged in. The next thing we want to do is to open the BAS configuration interface. To do this, we'll type the following command: /vconfig, no spaces, and then press the Enter key. The first screen, Welcome to BluStar, will give you the instructions on how to use the configuration interface. To modify a setting, highlight it using the arrow keys, then press Enter. When modifying settings, type the desired value or use the Tab key or Space bar to select an option. Use the Escape key to go back one level or to quit without saving. I'll press the Enter key to continue. This will open the main menu. We'll go through each menu and work our way down. I'll arrow down to Network Configuration and press the Enter key. Here, you will select how the server will be configured. Your choices are a single standalone node, redundant nodes to provide high availability. These are set up as master or slave nodes, and rebuild server, used to replace an existing high availability node. For this training video, I'll select single node and press Enter. I'll use the up and down arrow keys on the keyboard to navigate and highlight each field. I'll press the Enter key once to allow editing. I'll enter the desired information and press the Enter key a second time to accept. I'll repeat this process for each field. The first field I need to edit is primary address, so I'll arrow down to primary IP address and press the Enter key. I'll type a static IP address that I'm assigning to Ethernet port 0. This IP address will most likely be determined and reserved by your IT department or network administrator. After I enter the IP address, I'll press the Enter key to accept. The next field is primary netmask. For this example, I'll use the default, so I'll continue and arrow down to host name. If assigned, again by your IT department or network administrator, you would enter in the name of the server in the fully qualified form. For this example, I'll type bastraining.us.astra.com. I'll arrow down to primary name server and enter this information. This is the primary DNS server of your network, and if applicable, type the secondary name server information. Arrow down and enter the default gateway information. This is the gateway for the primary IP address we assign to this server. Optionally, you can enter in an IP address of a time server. The 8000i terminals synchronize time with the BAS. This option allows you to configure the server to synchronize its time with another server or an external time server. I'll arrow down and highlight Apply Configuration and press the Enter key. The BAS applies the current configuration that we just entered. I'll press the Enter key to continue. I'll arrow down to Network Connectivity Test and press the Enter key. Here, it will run a set of tests where it will ping the gateway, the primary and secondary name servers. The tests are all successful, so we'll move on. Time setup lets us change the time and date if necessary. Next, we'll go into SSL Certificate Generation. The BluStar Manager sets up its own self-signed certificates by default. The BluStar 8000i terminals, however, require certification authority signed certificates. I'll edit the information in this certificate. The common name field will automatically be generated based upon the information we previously entered in the network configuration. Once the certificate is generated, it is stored locally. As terminals and devices connect, it will pass the certificate along. The terminals and devices will then use the certificate to communicate with the BAS. When you are finished, highlight Generate Certificate and press the Enter key. The next screen will state that we have successfully created a certificate. Press the Enter key twice to continue. The next menu is Software Installation. The BAS installation software has been copied onto the hard drive. This step will install the BAS software and use the information we entered from the previous menus. I'll press the Enter key twice to begin and confirm the installation process. The next screen brings up the Astra End User software license. Press the Enter key when you are finished reading. The next screen brings up the third-party software and licensing information. Press the Enter key when you are finished reading. After you have read the license agreement and accept all terms, conditions, and restrictions, type Yes in the box to continue. On the next screen, you will enter in a new password for the root user. The old password was BluStar. The password does not display as you type it. For my password, I'll enter console123. Press the Enter key to accept. Then re-enter your password. Press the Enter key to accept, and it launches the BluStar application software installation. When the installation is complete, you will see the message, "This server must be rebooted to start functioning. Do you want to reboot now?" Type the letter Y and press the Enter key to reboot. In preparation for the reboot, you may see a red failed message. This is normal, as the system attempts to shut down various services. After the server reboots, notice the server name that we input in the network configuration menu is now being displayed. At this point, the server is now functional. We are done using the console and ready to begin using the BAS web user interface.